Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Yeah, Solana's, I think the conference is over now, the Solana conference, and I mentioned it in previous videos that it might lead to a bit of a sell-off, that we might get a pullback after the conference. Sometimes during these conferences or events, the sentiment just peaks. So we've seen a bit of a correction, nothing major yet. I mean, okay, you could say for crypto it's not major, but it's quite a bit of a drop from around about $47 to 38, 39 in a couple of days. But it did hold support here. So I gave you that support level. That's exactly where it landed at $38.30. Looking at the bigger picture, we are still tracking here two scenarios. Either we're dealing here with this A, B, C structure in a larger B wave, which could lead to a sell-off to completely new lows afterwards. I have to manage it. I have to mention it, okay? Doesn't mean it will. I will always keep looking for bullish possibilities along the way. But if really the yellow wave count fills in nicely, then a bullish scenario will not be a very likely option. So trading is always about, you know, watching for reward and risk and watching really for high probability setups which are clear. If you have to keep looking for something and actually it filled in a corrective structure very nicely, it just increases the risk to the downside. That's just something to keep in mind. But for now, the trend is still up, and even in the yellow wave count, which is at least the more bearish one, we would like to see another high in wave 5 and targeting $55 to $63 next, maybe even stretching to $79. In a more bullish scenario, that's the white wave count. We have a 1-2 setup where the wave 2 bottomed in June. We have currently a third wave unfolding. The third wave would be an A, B, C structure. Really difficult to understand where exactly we are here. There are different scenarios that could unfold. We always have to be on our toes when we're dealing with a diagonal anyway. So it's not the most straightforward count. However, hopefully over the last few days and weeks, the support zones that I gave you for trend continuation have helped you, because at no time a support was broken. I always try to help you to stay in a trend as long as possible. Trading micro counts is usually not useful in any strong trend in the crypto market, especially not in the third wave. Therefore, I typically try not to show you a micro count when we're dealing with strong rallies. I only added it yesterday because a lot of you asked for it, which basically shows that this C wave could be complete within wave 3. But typically the best approach is to just roll up a stop when, just track support and roll up a stop when a strong rally is unfolding. It allows you to stay in the trend as long as possible. And now we have pulled back to this first support level I gave you. Now, it could be that in wave 3 here, yeah, we are still extending higher from here. This, if it's extending higher, this is an ideal spot and basically the last spot to do it in wave 3. Below that level, below $38.30, if we get a sustained break below that level, I assume we are in wave 4. Okay, so either way, even if we are in wave 4, another high should take us to $55, possibly even 63. I gave you the levels, okay? So the question is now, either we go up directly from here, or if we see a more stretched out ABC correction, which I would prefer in wave 4, circle wave 4, then we might now see a bit of a B wave bounce before coming down further. That literally depends now on the next rally. That will give us more clarity. And if we then come down in a C wave, I would prefer the area, well, closer to $32 really, okay? Maybe even around that previous wave 4 low. You often see that a wave 4 of the larger degree pulls back to a region of a previous swing low, oftentimes a lower degree wave 4. So what am I watching for right now? So important to understand, short-term support is still $38.30. The market reacted to it, but we haven't really seen any kind of impulsive continuation to the upside. Below that level, I would be watching here for $37, $32, and $28. Below 28, I would assume that something different might be going on. We would really need to look at the structure. Ideally, it doesn't even break below 32. If it does, 28 is still there as support. But ideally, this wave 4 is now stretching out a little bit in terms of time. Okay, so if we zoom in a little bit, and we might go to the 1 hour chart, then, I mean, best I can offer in the yellow wave count, if no continuation happens from here, we would be dealing now, and that's what I would prefer, because it would also give us a little bit more clarity of where we are. So this could be an A wave complete. I mean, I'm counting 5 waves down in a potential leading diagonal in wave A. Ideally, a bounce occurs from here. Yeah, maybe in continuation to the upside or in a corrective bounce. That would be the B wave. B waves don't really have a target. That's the challenge. Never trade a B wave, or at least avoid it when you can. That's my view. Because B waves can be very long, they can be very short. I mean, unless you're very skilled. So, you know, there are different skill levels out there. But trading a B wave for B wave's sake isn't really the way to do it. However, obviously, trading for an extension could be an option. And if it's only a B wave, okay, that's fine. Anyway, you know, this is just the analysis. But a B wave can be very, very difficult to track. You can get even an overshooting B wave. That's possible. That's just, you know, what B waves do. So if the move up is corrective and we can identify a corrective structure, then ideally the move down afterwards would be a C wave. And in the C wave, well, we can calculate the C wave once we have the B wave top in place. And then we're dealing with a target for wave 4 really. At the moment, I can really only give you the standard support levels that I already gave you in previous videos for this wave 4. But if we have an A wave and a B wave complete, I can more precisely calculate a target for wave C. However, a lot I think is pointing into this region around the previous swing low, this 38.2 fib. And yeah, this is sort of what I'm watching really. Ideally, it also stretches out a little bit in terms of time. So I think the next few days will give us some clarity. If it's a B wave, it could unfold slowly. But again, B waves are the most difficult waves because they are the corrective waves within corrections. So they can really be frustrating. Yeah, that's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can find the links in the video description. There's additional content there every single day. And if you're interested in regular updates about the S&P 500, as well as updates about stocks, check out our Stocks and S&P 500 service. Link is also in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.